Maurice Chevalier is going to entertain you. Rudy Valet just dedicated the song to you. We've got the Astors, the Rockefellers.
You should be thrilled.
Thrilled. I feel like I've been entered at the Westminster Kennel Show.
Darling Louise, you and Alec are newlyweds. Surely not jealous already.
He's only after one thing, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let him get it.
$1 million baby. It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and...
From the first Woolworth 5 and dime store in 1879 to the opening of this store, number 1000 on Fifth Avenue, F.W. Woolworth has provided jobs for a multitude of young women and young men. Woolworth was built upon an idea, and a simple one, to sell products which everyone in this country needs at a price which everyone in this country can afford. They say that hard work built the world's tallest skyscraper, the work of thousands and thousands of people. Franklin Hutton is your responsibility. He was supposed to be a part of the family at the opening of our new store, but no. He had to go to San Francisco on business. Monique von Fursten was his business, Edna. You have no one to blame but yourself. Franklin Hutton is a womanizer, a gambler, and a drunk. Facts of which you were perfectly aware when you married him.
He still happens to be Barbara's father.
He has publicly disgraced you, his daughter, and this family. You will have to divorce him. Though God knows what effect it will have on the child later on. Anyway, you've got to do something, Edna, cost what it may.
Yes, Father. You're right. Cost what it may. I've got to do something.
said I'd be here, but honey, Daddy has been very busy helping Uncle Edward. Oh, isn't that a pretty white angel? Yes. Well, you see, Daddy is so busy and he hasn't been able to spend that much time with you, I know. But I want you to know it makes me feel so, so very good to see you again. So, how about a smile, huh? Barbara, I know how you still feel. But your mommy's in heaven now, and she's happy. So we want you to be happy too. And we want to see that smile. Don't we, Nanny?
Yes, and say thank you, Daddy, for all those lovely presents, Barbara.
Thank you, Daddy, for all the...
All right, good enough. And a Merry Christmas, dear. And I'll be seeing you real soon. Don't you forget, man.
Daddy's got to have dinner now with Grandpa Wooly. Night, night. And with your lovely aunts and uncles.
He invites everybody right in to show up. It's almost better
Well, what do you know? A real happy family gathering.
Well, it's nice that you finally made it to your own dinner party, Franklin.
Wooly, I am even going to drink a toast to you. The good old Wooly, father-in-law extraordinaire. Mm. Drink, Edward. It's Christmas. And a toast to those who can't be with us tonight. To the boys in the trenches.
Hey, I'll drink to that.
Of course you will. You'll drink to anything and anybody. Right.
It's been 3 months since my daughter's death. And I hardly think toasts are in order, especially from you.
Well, then, Wooly, you should have moved Christmas. You know, hold a board meeting.
Franklin, please. This is the first time we've all been together since since her passing. So let's try and act like a family, huh?
What a family. What a family. What a group. American merger. Oh, yes. E.F. Hutton. F.W. Woolworth. Mm-hmm. Marriages made in the boardrooms. Do you suppose there's any love to any of those marriages made in the boardroom? In case anybody should want or need some love?
I don't think we need any lessons from you about love, Franklin. But yes, Jesse's and my sons are the result of our love.
But not proof of it. Anybody can have a child, whether you want one or not. God knows I never did. The fact is that 99% of the people on this planet were born out of a bottle of whiskey on Saturday night.
Edna wanted Barbara. She loved her.
Well, if she loved her daughter so damn much, why'd she leave her the likes of me?
Franklin, please.
You disgraced and humiliated her, and I will not allow you to disgrace and humiliate the rest of this family.
Well, then I have a gift for you all. My absence. And I am leaving Barbara with you, Wooly. She'll be happier with you.
Barbara, when you feel lonely, remember what I said. Princesses live happily ever afterward.
But I'm not a princess.
But you are to me, darling. And one day you'll find your prince.
Barbara? I'm Miss Touquet, Barbara. I'll be taking care of you. But you can call me Tiki.
Tiki? here with?
Shh, Barbara. Don't wake your grandma. This is your playroom.
But there's nothing to play with.
But there will be.
Mustn't be afraid of the magic, Barbara. Why, that's what keeps the soul alive. So some people who don't have it, they sit and wait for the ever after. But you know, there is no ever after. There is only the moment. And this moment now with you and I is full of wonderful magic and music. So play. Very good. Very good. Oh, you're a wonderful player. Yes.
Why do you have to go now, Franklin? You've hardly arrived before you're gone. Barbara's very upset.
It can't be helped. When Edward F. Hutton opens a new office, an important new branch, it's incumbent upon me as a full partner to be there. Edward would never forgive me if I weren't. No, Barbara will be fine with you. Can you imagine those 2 pills, those loving aunts of hers, refusing to take her when F.W. finally met his maker? Oh, you're a peach to do so. Thanks so much. Incidentally, between us, old Willie died not a moment too soon.
What do you mean?
He was planning on drawing up a new will, leaving the bulk of his fortune to charity, but with exquisite timing, he kicked the bucket before he signed it. So when my senile old mother-in-law finally goes, the estate will go to the 2 surviving daughters and Barbara. Lucky girl, huh? All right. Bye-bye now.
Where's he going? But he didn't say goodbye to Barbara. I'm afraid my brother lacks the finer paternal feelings, Miss Touquet. However, it's not her father she needs, it's friends. Friends her own age. What time are they coming? They're 3 o'clock. It's any minute now. Barbara, I'd like you to meet... Oh, dear. I don't know which is which.
I'm Muriel, and these are my friends, Nora and Margaret. We can only stay an hour. Why don't you go to school?
I have a tutor.
My mother says you're too rich for your own good.
I don't know what you mean.
I think we've got to go now.
Why? We can play house. We can dress up. Look. Her name's Cynthia. Do you like her?
She's pretty.
You can have her.
Really?
Yes. You can take her home with you. And look. She has her own cape and an evening dress. Look.
Are these real?
Real what?
Rubies, of course. Are they real?
I don't know.
Can I have them?
Sure.
Look at this. Oh, it's lovely.
It was my mother's.
Can I have it?
It was my mother's.
Then what can I have?
Anything else.
I'll take him. We got to go. Now.
Barbara, I'm afraid I have some sad news for you. Your grandma's dead. And we have to go back to New York.
Grandma?
I know it's sad, but on the other hand, you've just become an heiress. You've just inherited 1/3 of your grandpa's $78 million. Now, together with your mother's money, that makes you the richest little girl in the world. Hmm? And now I want you to meet your new mummy. Irene, this is Barbara.
Hello, Barbara.
Who's going to live here with me?
Oh, Tiki, of course. And the maid.
Where are you going to live?
Irene and I will be right next door. We have another duplex, just like this one.
Can't we live together?
We will be, Barbara, right next door, under the same roof, virtually.
I thought you could only get married once.
Barbara. Barbara, do you like to play house? Well, you can come and play house with us, and we can come and play house with you. Now, won't that be fun?
just something you might try instead of blabbing all the time.
It's New Year's Eve, Barbara. You don't read poetry on New Year's Eve.
Who says?
I say.
You're my cousin, Jimmy, not my father. I meant you don't have to talk like my father. He doesn't like books. I have to hide my books so he won't find them. I do that too, you know. I've never seen you read. Not reading. Everything. I hide everything. I don't think Father approves of anything I do. He says I'm different. Different how? Just different. I am, you know. I don't know how. But anyway, I embarrass him. You're different too. We're both different, Barbara. Maybe we are. Let's always be together, Jimmy. Even when we're grown up. We will, won't we? All our lives. And it's gonna be fun. New Year! Happy New Year, Mav. Happy New Year, Jimmy.
That certain feeling, the first time I met you, I hit the ceiling.
Jimmy, who are all these people?
No, just a few of your oldest and dearest friends. Let me introduce you.
I wanted phrases to sing your praises. That certain feeling, the one that they all love. No use concealing. I've got what they call love. Now we're together. Let's find out whether you're feeling that feeling too. That certain feeling, the first time I met you. Every morning, every evening, and we got fun. Not much money, oh, but honey, and we got fun. The rent's unpaid, dear. We haven't a sou, but smiles will make.
You're supposed to be having fun.
I think I'm gonna be sick. Didn't even want this party.
Well, I did. So did everybody here. There's a depression. We want to party. You're the excuse. Not a bad one at that. You look delicious.
No, I don't.
Relax.
Barbara. What's wrong with you? Maurice Chevalier is going to entertain you. Rudy Valet just dedicated this song to you. We've got the Astors, the Rockefellers, your best friend Doris Duke.
Best friend? Daddy, we wave hello at the opera.
Well, I think you might be a little more grateful. I wonder if you have any idea what this event cost?
60,000 Woolworth bucks. It's in all the papers. Come on.
We have fun. There's nothing sure. The rich get food on the pike.
Lost my way and don't know where to go. I want to introduce you to David Herbert. David is the second son of the Earl of Pembroke. They live at Wilton. It's the most beautiful house in England.
How exciting.
Yeah, it'd be more exciting if he were the first son.
You see, the first son gets the title, the estate, and the fortune. The second son gets a tiny allowance, absolutely delicious cucumber sandwiches at tea time, and absolutely no responsibilities whatsoever.
No responsibilities whatsoever! Babs, dare ya?
Come on. Never been done before without sex.
Wait.
Yeah, I'll hold it. All right? Bravo.
Louise, darling, how wonderful to see you, isn't it, Barbara?
Yes, I'm delighted you could come.
Well, how can one miss a commanding performance? Barbara, I'd like you to meet my fiancé, Prince Alexis Devani.
Hello.
Miss Hutton. My pleasure.
And Barbara's aunt, Marjorie Merriweather Post. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. E.F. Hutton, Prince Devani.
How do you do?
Well, thanks. Always have.
You look wonderful tonight, Barbara. Interesting sash. What is it? It's just plain old ordinary cloth, isn't it?
Yes, just plain old ordinary cloth.
From Granddaddy's shop, no doubt.
As a matter of fact, it's from his very first shop.
Only you, Barbara, could get away with that, or try to.
It is chic. It is what chic is all about.
And what is chic about, Alexis?
I would say it is when something very simple is set against something very beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, Doris, I didn't mean to ignore you.
Well, of course you did, darling, and why shouldn't you? It is your night. Doris has already had hers. Well, I must say, the Huttons have finally outdone the Dukes. In spending, shall we say?
Imagine Doris Duke and Barbara Hutton dripping in loose change. Too bad you are not a man, Doris. Then the Duke could marry the Hutton and take over the country.
Why should she marry a Duke, Louise? When she could marry a prince. Come along, darling. We have legions more to meet. You do know Charles Putnam, don't you? I think I saw him over here. Charles! Charles!
She's attractive, all right, and a nice kid. But personally, I don't have the money to keep that girl in postage stamp.
Yep. The guy's going to marry awful rich. He better be awful in love. What I say.
Barbara, dear, we're supposed to be having a marvelous time. All these delicious, young, eligible men just hovering about you, like bees after honey. You should be thrilled.
Thrilled. I feel like I've been entered at the Westminster Kennel Show.
Mr. Plant, have you met my niece, Barbara Hutton?
Hello.
Miss Hutton?
Barbara, Phil Plant. Isn't he handsome?
Aunt Marjorie.
He is.
May I have this dance, Miss Hutton?
Of course you may.
Aunt Marjorie? Yes, thank you.
Excuse me. Chevalier's just arrived.
I did something foolish, Miss Hutton. I made other arrangements. For a rendezvous, as they say, later this evening.
Oh.
Well, it's all your own fault, you know. You weren't supposed to be this beautiful.
I wasn't?
You don't think you are, do you?
I never really thought about it.
Of course you have. Every attractive girl has. Besides, I know quite a bit about you, you know.
Seems a lot of people know quite a bit about me, who never met me.
Eleanor Carson, your roommate in boarding school, said that you know more about Oriental art than the art professor.
Since that's a rather modest accomplishment, I won't waste time denying it.
Miss Hutton, with your permission, I'm going to cancel my plans for later this evening.
I'd be delighted.
You are to be presented at court to the King and Queen of England.
England? Can't go to England.
Well, Barbara, they won't bring the court to you.
I don't care. I have no interest in being presented at court. No, I can't go. I've made other plans.
Your plans include Phil Plant?
What if they do? That's my affair.
Good choice of words.
Now, you listen to me, young lady. I've gone to a lot of trouble to arrange this.
My presentation or my abduction?
But, darling, don't you understand what an honor this is? Barbara, only the highest-ranking debutantes get an honor like this.
Your passage has been booked.
Then unbook it.
Phil Plant is a drunkard and a gambler, and he's out with a different woman every night.
Sounds familiar.
He's only after one thing, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let him get it.
I will have a word with the captain, Barbara, and I will see you in the stateroom. Thank you.
Hey, Babs. You realize we're surrounded by idiots? And your father is sending you to London because he wants you to be away from your lover? My father's sending me to London to keep an eye on you. Is that a good one? Listen. I have cabled David Herbert. He will arrange all the parties, and the possibilities are infinite.
You're far too young, Jimmy. You have no possibilities.
Sweetheart, I've been young since I was 7. Now listen to me. Now remember what we used to say about how we'd enjoy everything together when we were grown-ups? Well, now we are.
London's glorious season ends, and its last event is the Royal Garden Party at Buckingham Palace. Magnificent gardens of the palace make a splendid setting for this most regal and yet democratic function. For the King and Queen move freely and graciously among their guests, picking out a delighted individual here and there to greet and engage in conversation. The Queen presents a radiant picture of majestic loveliness, while the King obviously enjoys the weather, the company, and the occasion.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. I'm the luckiest of females. For I dance with a man who's danced with a girl who's danced with the Prince of Wales. And she danced with a man who's danced with a girl who's danced with the Prince of Wales. Jimmy went to a marvelous party at Emerald Cunard's.
And guess who was there?
Who?
The Prince of Wales.
He danced with Barbara. Ah, well, lucky her. Some girls have all the luck. Well, I've been entertaining myself. You want to hear about the American invasion? Oh, yes, well done. Well, darling, you're no longer a debutante. You're now a celebutante.
Oh.
Barbara Hutton, America's poor little rich girl, presented to the King and Queen.
Not bad for a colonial.
The prototypical American export, a heavily chaperoned heiress who has come here to steal the vaulted throne of the British Empire and return with it to the United States. An American reject, a spoiled brat, whose rejection by New York's most eligible bachelors has brought her...
Don't bodyguards ever eat? Tiki.
Bringing with her her overbloated
Doesn't his contract call for a meal about now?
That's supposed to be us, the overbloated auntie.
Mangez, monsieur, mangez. It's feeding time. Allez, allez.
Oh. He had the nerve to show up here last night again.
Jimmy!
Yes, brat?
Elsa Maxwell has invited me to her villa in the south of France. There's going to be a wonderful party.
Just you? Remember what you said about how we do everything together when we were grown-ups? Well, we are. Elsa will adore me, so I'm coming with you. Let's pack.
Let the poets pipe of love in their childish way. I know every type of love better far than they. If you want the thrill of love, I've been through the mill of love. Old love, new love, every love that's
You're absolutely right.
About what?
Well, Elsa Maxwell may give superb parties, but when her voice fills the air, it deadens the senses. Certainly for me. And for you, too, it would seem.
I don't mind her voice. I just don't like big groups.
Why? Are you shy? Do you think people are always looking at you? If so, you are right. They are. Do you know, Barbara, people will always be fascinated by you.
I'd rather be fascinated by them. And what about you? You're a prince. What sort? A Russian prince?
Before we were conquered by the Russian Tsars over 100 years ago, we were the princes of a fierce, brave, independent mountain kingdom in the Georgian Caucasus. We rode fast horses. We wore jewel-encrusted gowns, soft boots and big fur hats, and long, sharp scimitars swinging at our sides. We would swoop down on the Russians and cut them to pieces. And then we'd ride back to our citadels, singing of victory, to celebrate, dance, and to make love. Do you know, you have the most beautiful eyes. And I would give anything in the world just to hold you close now. But finally, we had to make peace, recognize the Tsars, and we never forgot the true kings and princes that we had always been.
And then?
And then came the Bolshevik Revolution, and we had to flee across the mountains into Turkey with whatever jewels and gold we could carry. Do you know, you have the most beautiful lips. And I would like to kiss them now. And finally, we came to Paris. And now...
Yes?
I'm probably boring you.
No.
I'm only telling you all this because I believe you know something of the Muslim East.
How do you know I know?
It's rumor. But I prefer knowledge to rumor. And I would like to know you, Barbara. Do you know how? In which way?
old love, new love, every love but true love.
You should have a little talk with your brother, Rusi. If the prince wants to retain his royal lifestyle, tell him to stay away from the shop girl.
Darling Louise, you and Alec are newlyweds. Surely not jealous already.
Love for sale.
Well, got it. It cost me a fortune, but it has arrived.
Come on, Jenny, let's
Hello.
Do I give you a good time or do I not, right? Let's hear it. Okay. Spin the wheel.
You're gonna love this.
Who's going to dance with me? Come on. Get your arms round.
Miss Hutton?
Yes?
Pauline de la Rochère. We've been at many parties together, but never met, I'm afraid. I don't mean to intrude.
Don't be silly.
I thought you might want to be alone. You're always a little apart.
Well, I guess I'm just more comfortable this way.
So am I. But sometimes it can get a little lonely. I'm not good in crowds. People think I'm aloof.
I know. They say the same thing about me, too.
I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10-cent store. The rain continued for an
What is that?
hour.
It's the latest craze, honey.
Yes, but what is it? Who's it referring to?
3 guesses.
Me? How can it be about me? They don't know me. I hate people talking about what I'm worth. Doris Duke has more money, certainly more chin. Aunt Marjorie has more money.
I found $1 million baby.
Would you get another copy for me?
Grant's tomb, step on it, and we never saw him again.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
You know my old man? The song.
Barbara, this is Morley Kennelly and his wife, Jean. Miss Barbara Hutton, Count and Countess Vespucci.
Hello.
Morley's an expatriate, too. He's an American, you know.
Elsa, I'm not an expatriate.
You become an expatriate the second you set sail from New York. You just don't know it yet. We're all running away. Excuse me while I run to the bar. Come with me, Count and Countess. I'll see you later. I want you to meet the crank. Okay?
I understand you write poetry.
I should warn you, Morley's a publisher in London.
Limited editions, you know, that sort of thing.
How limited are they? Fairly limited, so we're fairly broke.
But we have our pride.
Yes, we do. We're proud and we're broke. But we're also terribly happy.
I'm afraid Jean tends to exaggerate.
Well, we are. At least I know you didn't marry me for my money, which is more than can be said for most of our acquaintances. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to include you in that, of course. Thank you.
Morley! Jean! Darlings! Come and meet Buddy Austin. He's too athletic. Did you see him play at Wimbledon last year? See you later, Barbara. Buddy!
Your bodyguard has not taken his eyes off you all day. And neither have I.
Anybody need a drink? Saucer of milk?
It's too rough for swimming. Currents are too strong. It's too dangerous.
I'm a strong swimmer. I like danger.
So do I.
You're so beautiful.
I won't do anything you don't want me to, Barbara. But you must tell me what you want. But it must come from you, Barbara.
Come along, darling. The last money is paid for dinner. But that's what you mean. I don't even want to get my toes.
Louise, darling.
Bitch.
Here are some scenes from the next episode of Poor Little Rich Girl.
I love Alexis. If my going to bed with him breaks up his marriage, at least it won't kill him, like you did Mother.
For heaven's sake, Barbara, he's a drunk, a womanizer, a legal gigolo.
Do you think this comes as a surprise?
The only girl in the world who can buy anything on anyone. And she can't hold on to any of it!
Don't talk money.
That's right, Uncle Franklin. Don't talk money, just have it.
My going to bed with him breaks up his marriage, at least it won't kill him, like you did Mother.
For heaven's sake, Barbara, he's a drunk, a womanizer, a legal gigolo.
Do you think this comes as a surprise?
The only girl in the world who can buy anything on anyone. And she can't hold on to any of it!
Don't talk money.
That's right, Uncle Franklin. Don't talk money, just have it.
It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store.
Franklin Hutton is a womanizer, a gambler, and a drunk.
He still happens to be Barbara's father.
You've got to do something, Edna. Cost what it may.
Yes, Father. Cost what it may. I've got to do something.
What a family. What a family. What a group. E.F. Hutton, F.W. Woolworth. Anybody can have a child, whether you want one or not. God knows I never did. And I am leaving Barbara with you, Wooly. She'll be happier with you. Barbara, I'm afraid I have some sad news for you. Your grandma's dead. That makes you the richest little girl in the world.
That certain feeling the first time I met you.
Jimmy, who are all these people?
No, just a few of your oldest and dearest friends.
Barbara, I'd like you to meet my fiancé, Prince Alexis Devani.
Hello.
For sale. Appetizing.
You should have a little talk with your brother, Rusi. If the prince wants to retain his royal lifestyle, tell him to stay away from the shop girl.
You bitch.
Love. For sale.
Are you here to take us both to home, Mr. Hutton? We're going to marry the princess? Or is he just a travelling companion? Mr. Hutton, come on, just a line, that's all. You got enough? Thank you, poor little rich girl. Mr. Hutton! Mr. Hutton!
I want you to pack. We're booked on the next sailing for New York.
You threw me a coming out party, and damn it, I've come out.
From $1 million baby to poor little rich girl, you're making a spectacle of yourself. And now, not content with that, you're breaking up a marriage? What next?
Daddy, you don't know him.
I know you. You're a Hutton, and you're to act like one.
I am. Daddy, Louise and Alexis' marriage was arranged. They didn't love each other. She got the title, and he got the...
Title? Where he comes from, anyone with 3 sheep and a cow has a title. And as far as arranged goes, there's nothing wrong with arranged marriages. They're the ones that last.
Well, if they last, what are you worried about? Anyway, I have no intention of marrying anyone right now.
No? What about him? To the light of my life, Alexis. If he hasn't got marriage in mind, what is all this about?
Gratitude. I was terrific.
You shut your dirty little mouth!
You damn hypocrite! You bounced from one bed to
Barbara,
another.
don't!
And he's still doing it. Whatever I learned in this life, you taught me. I'm my father's daughter. I love Alexis. If my going to bed with him breaks up his marriage, at least it won't kill him, like you did Mother.
She reads books, too, Uncle Franklin. And writes poetry.
No, I suppose it's probably more Gothic than...
Prince Stéphane.
Mr. Hutton. My sister, Lucy Self. Your choice for our meeting is perfect, I must say. Nobody ever comes here unless it is raining outside.
Mr. Hutton, you have an absolutely enchanting daughter.
Thank you. Now then, Devani, let's get down to business.
Business, Mr. Hutton?
$500,000 to stay away from my daughter.
Mr. Hutton, if your late father-in-law had offered you such a sum to leave your late wife alone, would you have accepted?
Certainly not. I loved her.
And in the same way, Mr. Hutton, I love Barbara.
Then let me remind you, Barbara has not yet come into her inheritance. And until she does, I'm in charge of the estate and of her. And I will... And I will not allow my daughter to become involved with a married man of doubtful reputation and dubious title.
My brother indeed has a dashing reputation. But I assure you there is nothing dubious whatsoever about his title. And I think Barbara would love to be a princess.
Madam Sir, am I dealing with you or your brother?
You're dealing with both, Mr. Hutton, but not for the price of one.
Very well. $1 million.
Mr. Hutton, did it ever occur to you that Barbara and I were simply having a brief affair? And that I have absolutely no intention of marrying her?
Is that true?
I simply said, had it ever occurred to you? Actually, I have been having the most marvelous time, and so has Barbara. But we have never discussed marriage.
Good.
That doesn't mean that Alexis's intentions are not strictly honorable.
And what does that mean?
It means they are so honorable. And I have been having such a good time that I have decided to ask my wife for a divorce.
Darling, I tried to warn you about Barbara.
I don't remember that, Lucy.
Because you wouldn't listen. But you've got to save face, Louise. You must be the one to divorce him. Settle on him, then throw him out.
You're talking about your own brother.
I'm talking about a fool. Darling, I tried my best to reason with him. I failed. Divorce him now. Don't wait until he leaves you. And above all, take yourself another lover. Immediately.
She's divorcing him.
That's the rumor. He hasn't said anything.
Maybe he didn't think he had to. So he thinks I'm going to fall into his lap like a ripe plum, does he?
Let's face it, Babby. He hasn't exactly had to chase you around the world. So far.
No, he hasn't. Maybe it's about time he did.
As Americans wait their turn in soup lines, Miss Barbara Hutton, America's poor little rich girl, pursued by the royalty of long-forgotten kingdoms, with 4 cabins reserved for her luggage alone, embarks for the remote island of Bali. What pagan prince will she find in those enchanted islands of the southern seas? Bon voyage, Barbara.
What's wrong, Jean?
I did start to wonder why you'd invited us, Babs. Why you're paying our way.
You think I'm trying to buy you?
Or Morley.
I could, couldn't I? That's what they say. I could buy anything or anyone I wanted. What if you had all the money in the world and you wanted to see that world, but you had never made any friends because no one ever told you how, and you met a couple who you liked and you trusted, and He wanted to be with them. Would it matter what the cost?
Of course. Except with you, Babs. There is no such thing as cost.
Barbara! They don't have water, there is no toilet, and there is a lizard in my room.
You will not complain, and you will not be rude. We are guests here, and we'll behave accordingly.
They don't even have room service.
Where is Miss Barbara Hutton?
If music be the food of love, they are yours until dawn.
Don't let me sleep. I don't want to miss a note.
That's a wonderful idea. I'll show you Bunny's new shop. Worth that.
Tom!
Oh, right.
There you
Isn't
are.
that wonderful?
Yes,
Just
indeed.
one moment, darling. I think I'll borrow this. Oh, no. Put it with that.
Mr. Hutton.
Marshal.
Mr. Hutton. Mr. Hutton. Excuse me.
Sorry.
There's a radio call for you, sir.
A radio?
Valley, I believe.
Valley?
Barbara.
Barbara? Mary?
Devaney.
Barbara and I are going to be married with or without your permission. Immediately. Unless you announce our engagement to the press and give us your blessing.
That's blackmail.
Blackmail?
Exciting. I hope he's demanding a lot.
Otherwise, we are fully prepared to be married under a waterfall by a pagan priestess.
For God's sakes, no. Listen. Can you hear me? I'll make the announcement for now, but only if you promise not to marry until we can talk and until a proper site for the marriage has been selected.
You.
Now, Alexis.
Put it down. No.
Don't hang up.
Hung up.
I want to send a telegram. A telegram? Good. Is to Madame Russie Sert, Rue Bonaparte, number 12, Paris.
Have won the prize. Announce the betrothal. Love, Alex.
There is a law in France, which I'm sure you're aware of, which states that if a bride has not yet reached her majority, as in Barbara's case, her property comes under the absolute control of her husband.
Yes, I believe it is for the bride's protection, as most women are supposed not to know how to manage their own estates.
Until Barbara's next birthday, I'm in control. And if you want to marry my daughter, you will sign this agreement.
And the terms of the agreement?
You will receive a dowry of $1 million plus a substantial annual allowance. That, together with your divorce settlement from Louise Van Allen, should keep you in the style to which I gather you have grown accustomed. Will you sign?
An annual allowance.
Top of page 4.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
Was all this necessary?
Barbara, you have a fortune to protect, and now that it's protected, you'll have a husband.
I don't want to have a husband, Daddy. Alex and I love each other as an equal. We want to spend the rest of our lives together, and I want to share everything I have with him as equals.
He has been given a more than adequate allowance, I assure you.
An allowance? Allowance for what? To ensure his good behavior, I allow him so much a month. And what does he allow me a month? So much love? Tit for tat? Love for money? Money for love? It's humiliating.
He didn't seem to find it so.
Well, I do. You know what I think it is? It's a blueprint for failure already.
All right, then. Hand over your entire fortune to him, if that makes you feel secure with him. And then see how long that fortune and that marriage lasts. Perhaps that wasn't the kindest thing to say to you on the eve of your wedding. But one day, Barbara, you may be grateful to me for saying it all the same.
Worldwide interest is taken in the marriage of Miss Barbara Hutton, reputed to be the world's wealthiest heiress, to Prince Alexis Medivania, member of an ancient family from Georgia, now part of Russia. This is the wedding by Russian rites, a civil wedding having taken place earlier in the week. The enthusiasm of Parisians unfortunately oversteps itself, and the bride and bridegroom have a difficult time getting away from the church.
I love your body. It's so strong. And lean. Beautiful.
You do?
Yes.
I must tell you something.
What?
Barbara. You are too fat. Barbara?
A surprise.
Stop fussing.
But what can it be?
Be patient. You see, be patient.
Patient? But you know I love surprises.
Pauline, will you open the window? Step up. There. It's for you. A present from Daddy. It's called the Alibaba.
It's magnificent.
What's wrong? Has he done something to hurt you? Barbara, even if he has upset you, for God's sake, don't let him take the upper hand.
I didn't marry him to play games, Pauline.
Barbara, it's wonderful!
He's a baby, really. A big baby. Thank you, Maria. That will be all.
It was a charming group of people tonight.
Weren't they? I want to go out early tomorrow and explore Venice. Go to some churches and museums. Maybe go over to Torcello. How about you?
Maybe. Getting ready for bed early. Must be tired.
I was just taking off my jewelry. You don't have to go to bed yet. Not unless you're tired.
Not at all. In fact, I was thinking of going to the casino, just for a moment. Try my chances. What did I do with my other wallet? Perhaps you would like to come, too.
Alex, if you're going off to the casino, I'm going to be fast asleep when you return. You understand?
Well, in that case, I won't go.
I want you to go, because that's what you want to do. But by the same token, I want you to leave me to sleep when you return. Is that clear?
Oh, my darling. Don't be cross. After all, look, I'll stay with you until you get into bed. You go and get into your bath. I'll come and sit with you.
I'd really rather you didn't sit with me while I have my bath. You go ahead. Go try your chances. They may surprise you.
Very well, Barbara. As you wish.
Do you love him?
Yes. Of course.
What does of course mean?
I love him desperately.
Desperately sounds rather desperate. Barbara, we are your friends. We love you. You must know that. What I'm going to say may hurt, but it has to be said. That husband of yours is behaving...
He's a little extravagant, but so am I.
How many polo ponies, Barbara? How many cars? And what is it, 2 villas you bought him?
He's bought me a lot of things, too.
With your money. And gossip says it's not only you he's buying things for.
I'm not interested in gossip.
Very well. Barbara. Princess Mdivani. You're intelligent. You have so much more than the world sees. Pull yourself together. Put that mind and body of yours into the shape it was designed for.
I can't let you know until I talk to Alex. Well, let's talk tomorrow. Yes, it's great news, Daddy. All right. Goodbye.
Barbara, have you seen these bills? Alex has gone too far this time.
I know. It's all right, Pauline. That was Daddy calling from New York. The court has approved the papers. I'm finally coming into my inheritance. Money is no longer the problem.
I came here looking for you an hour ago.
I'm sorry. I went out for a walk.
Fantastic dress. Barbara, you look so different. Your hair. Well, what have you done to yourself? You are looking quite fabulous. Huh? The world I cry, can this be true? Are you the same that once I knew, or if I dream, then let me be? This is all I would know of eternity.
Alex, please.
No. It is lovely.
It's not really very much of anything, but thank you.
And where did you say you and Pauline would drive to tomorrow?
Vicenza, to see the buildings by Palladio.
I would love to come, unless...
No, I would love you to come. I only didn't suggest it because...
Because of us. Barbara, there is something I must say. There is something I must tell you. Oh, you are so lovely. But that is not the important thing. The important thing is, I love you. The more I know you, the more deeply I am in love with you. That is what I want to say.
Yes, this is Princess Devani. Would you please send up a magnum of Veuve Clicquot champagne, 1928 Brut. And some caviar. Yes, toast and so on. In about an hour.
What do you think?
Depends who for.
Oh, Barbara. It is for a man.
Oh, anyone we know.
Barbara.
How much is it, anyway?
It's a little over $10,000, madam.
Barbara, you are embarrassing me. We do not discuss money in front of shop people.
Oh, you don't? I didn't know. Okay, let's go somewhere and discuss it in private.
What about the ring?
Oh, I see. You want to discuss it after I've bought it.
Barbara, you are being impossible.
Send the bill to Daddy. See how possible he is.
I think we had better have a long talk about this. Later.
Good. I'm ready. This reckless spending has got to stop.
Why?
Because it's out of hand. We have an allowance.
Do you want a husband, Barbara? Or a man on a retainer?
It's not just the money, and you know that. It's the drinking and the gambling, and so rumor has it, the women. Alex, I want this marriage to work more than anything I've ever wanted in my life. But you have to help.
You want me to change, yes? Not you, just me. You want me to become the nice little boy you want me to be. And you, Barbara, stay just as you are. You want the spending to stop?
It's got to.
Then consider it stopped
Alex!
forever.
Alex! Don't you dare walk out on me!
What are you doing here, Jimmy? Since Miss Hutton has come into her inheritance, I'm her new bodyguard.
Miss Hutton?
Anybody want to argue the point?
Jimmy.
You don't look like the same girl, Princess. What happened?
Love. I lost 20 pounds to passion.
Happy birthday, Princess, and what are you going to do with all that money?
I don't know. I'll have to count it first. Daddy.
Don't talk money.
That's right, Uncle Franklin. Don't talk money, just hack.
You look gaunt.
It's the fashion. Alex loves it. You said it was my duty to keep my husband happy.
This one?
Not this car, Prince.
No, I am traveling with my wife.
Order. You can get in this one,
What's going
sir.
on?
Order.
Fine. Yes. There you are, sir.
Now, once you sign the papers, your inheritance is transferred from my control to yours.
How much?
Not too many fortunes like yours these days. $42,077,328.53.
And 53 cents. You're a hell of a bookkeeper, Daddy.
Barbara, don't swear. It's not ladylike. Now, when you add to that your inheritance from your mother, your net worth will be in the neighborhood of $50 million.
Do you love her, Daddy?
Interest alone should bring you in,
Did you ever tell her you thought she was beautiful?
Barbara.
Did you ever let her feel there was something more beautiful about her than her money?
If all this is coming from your own bitterness, remember this. I advised you against this marriage.
Why do you always have to talk to me like an investment banker? Talk to me like a father. Couldn't you have even said, welcome back, I missed you? No, I guess not. I'm giving you $5 million. A gift for doubling my inheritance. I want Alex to receive the $1.25 million due him under the agreement.
Barbara.
I'll have my secretary call your secretary with the name and address of a charity to which I want you to make an anonymous donation of $1 million.
Anonymous.
Pauline is to receive an allowance every month in London. Jean and Morley need wardrobes. Alex loves Arabians. There's a stable in the south of France. I'll give you the address. Buy it for him. That should keep him busy for a while. And sell the Alibaba.
Hey, can you spare some money, please?
Get out of here.
Flowers for the ladies, sir.
No, thank you. My God, when did she last have a bath?
Why not let them eat cake, Alex?
You got cake, lady? I'll eat it.
Well, I'll eat it. Are your children hungry?
Come on, Barbara.
It's
hot!
You didn't mean to. Yes,
Have you
sir.
ever
Who's
been
never
cold
been
and
hungry?
hungry?
Hey,
Let's go!
Well, I saw his latest play. I can't remember the title.
No.
George Carmen. Well, who said that actor?
Excuse me, anyone sitting here?
Did you see the way he landed?
You're even more beautiful in person, Princess.
Thank you,
Pauline. Jack.
Mr. Pauling.
I want you to know that I admire you a great deal.
Really? You must find that a little lonely.
Your husband must be delighted about the new villa.
How did you know?
Not only is it in his name, but recently you placed deposits on 2 other villas to the tune of $125,000. Changed your mind and lost your deposits.
Who are you?
A reporter, I guess. Excuse me.
Look out, Jimmy!
Hey! Don't fall off your horse!
He won't bother you anymore.
What did you say to him?
That I had dinner with his publisher last night, and one word from me, and he will be ball boy in a public court.
And he believed you?
Oh, it's the truth. Princess Divani, Count Revendlow.
Thank you.
Everything okay, sir? What?
So you have a castle in Denmark?
Counts come with castles, Jimmy.
And countesses.
There is no countess. I'm a bachelor. Darling.
Darling, Count Reventlow.
Count Reventlow. I'm Prince Alexis Devani.
Prince. Prince without a country. I envy your freedom from responsibility.
I was just telling the Count we were sailing for the Orient in a week and how much we'd enjoy his company here until then.
Until then? Ah, yes.
I've never been to Denmark.
I hear it is terribly frigid.
In winter, yes. But we use the cold as a reason to cling together very close. At night.
Book me on the next boat.
After China, we'll be returning to London. Any chance we shall see you there?
If I am there, it won't be left to chance, Princess. I promise. By the way, my name is Kurt. The food is excellent, but you're not eating.
She never does.
You know, my wife is under the illusion that she is too fat.
Where did you ever get an idea like that?
I've forgotten now.
You're beautiful.
Prince Devani, is it true your marriage is on the rubber here?
Stop!
What's this girl's name?
Keep off me!
You can't treat us like that. Go on, get him, Harry. Get
Divorce him.
Why?
For heaven's sake, Barbara, he's a drunk, a womanizer, a legal gigolo.
Do you think this comes as a surprise? More surprising, it actually worked for a while.
He'll try to make you leave him in order to appear the injured party.
I have a party of my own to prepare for, which Alex is throwing for my birthday.
Which you're paying for.
Then I imagine it'll be on quite a scale.
Do you know he has invited Count Reventlow?
Court? Court is in London?
Yes. And I warn you, Barbara, when it comes to your marriage, Alex wants you to die. But he wants you to commit the murder. Be careful.
Where's Alex, darling? We can't wait till he's here.
He throws a great party.
Too bad he's missing it.
What are you going to do? Stand here and wait for him all evening? That's what they want you to do.
Of course. My humiliation is to be their entertainment.
Then let's entertain them. Our own way.
Birthday baby! Where's the princess? 22 slaps for good fortune, Barbara.
Take your hands off me!
Leave him alone. He's my husband.
She remembered. Ah, you remembered. What a clever, clever girl.
That's enough. Who says so? The court? Court? The court jester.
Alex, I'll take you home.
What? You keep me like a stray puppy. You
creating a scene?
Because I am very creative. When it comes to creating a scene, I am creative. What will it do? Spoil your reputation? Stop it, Alex. Take your hand off me. I am not my wife.
It's my birthday. Let me enjoy it.
And ruin my surprise? Happy birthday! I want to hear happy birthday! Gentlemen, please! Happy birthday!
I'll get him out of here.
No.
Oh, baby, I brought guests. Here she is. The only girl in the world who can buy anything on anyone. And she can't hold on to any of it. Now go ahead. Sleep with her. You think it's cold in Denmark? Miss
Miss Hutton, would you like to comment on this?
Princess! Princess, what is this?
What's the state of your marriage?
Barbara!
Here are some scenes from the next episode of Poor Little Rich Girl.
You've been a good girl, haven't you? Nobody seems to think so. But even if I had, would it matter?
Catherine the Great tiara. Cartier acquired it a few months ago.
I'll take it. You've been a good girl, haven't you? Nobody seems to think so. But even if I had, would it matter?
Catherine the Great tiara. Cartier acquired it a few months ago.
I'll take it.
It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. In Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4 around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store.
You're so beautiful.
From $1 million baby to poor little rich girl, you're making a spectacle of yourself. And now, not content with that, you're breaking up a marriage?
Daddy, you don't know him.
Barbara and I are going to be married with or without your permission.
That's blackmail.
Immediately.
You will receive a dowry of $1 million plus a substantial annual allowance.
An annual allowance?
Allowance for what? To ensure his good behavior, I allow him so much a month. And what does he allow me a month? So much love? Tit for tat? Love for money? Money for love? It's humiliating.
He didn't seem to find it so.
It's a blueprint for failure already. This reckless spending has got to stop.
What a husband, Barbara. Or a man on a retainer.
It's not just the money, and you know that. It's the drinking and the gambling, and so rumor has it, the women. I want this marriage to work.
Princess Divan, Count Arrindell.
And I warn you, Barbara, when it comes to your marriage, Alex wants you to die, but he wants you to commit the murder. Be careful.
Oh, baby, I brought guests. There she is. Now go ahead. Sleep with her.
Miss Hutton, would you like to comment on this? What's the state of your marriage, Barbara?
Sorry to trouble you, Daddy.
What the hell happened to you?
I was sitting here wondering what your first words would be. It was a choice between I love you and what the hell happened to you? I guessed right.
All the newspapers in New York are making book on you. Will you or will you not divorce? 8 to 5 for divorce.
Place a bet for me.
With your luck, you'd lose.
The flowers are from court.
The Count.
And Alex sent me this necklace. The bill arrived last week. Oh, what the hell?
Watch your language.
Watch my language? Daddy, you tell me to watch my language? Why don't you just hold me?
You're coming back to New York with Irene and me.
No,
I'll hire bodyguards to bring you there, Barbara, if I have to.
I'll just pay them more to keep you away from me.
You can't go on like this. All Court Reventlow is in love with is his vanity and your fortune.
Oh,
Thank you. I appreciate the thought he could love me because I'm a woman.
You're Barbara Hutton.
Go back to New York. I'll make an appearance that will make you proud.
May I?
Oh, don't.
Oh. Red roses on a boat. Oh, were you only here with me, their beauty to admire. How greater for their loveliness. My dreaming to inspire.
It's not finished yet.
Are we?
You didn't really love me, did you? Rosie arranged it all.
My sister always wanted the best for her little brother.
No. At least she thought I was the best. I think you wanted to love me. I wanted to believe you did.
I think you need a quiet time, Barbara. You would be welcome, of course, to come and stay with us in Denmark, in our castle.
Who is us?
My brother and I. We are farmers.
Farmers?
Yes. We farm 16,000 acres. We make the best milk, butter, and bacon in Denmark. You know, my family, which is Danish of German origin, have always been simple people. We may be counts, but we are not grand at all. It's true, we do live in a castle, but it's not a fairy tale castle. It's just a big, comfortable home. Big walls, big fireplaces, warm rooms. You would be so welcome there.
Sounds heavenly. But I want to go to New York for a while.
And then, afterwards?
I'm not sure. Alexis has gone to India for the winter to play polo. But I don't think I'll join him there.
Barbara, you know, I think you need a little cosseting, a little looking after, protecting. And I promise, whenever you are with me, I will always look after you and protect you. Always.
Barbara! Barbara! Damn it, Barbara! Didn't you hear me?
No!
Barbara! Barbara! What the hell are you trying to do? Can you ever hold your horse back?
I told you. Either keep level with me or stay behind. You don't just go galloping ahead all over the countryside like this.
Stop giving orders. We're not in the Prussian cavalry. We're supposed to be having fun, remember?
Yes, together. And when we go riding together, we go riding together from now on. Besides, I'm tired of looking at your horse's backside all the time. Your face is much prettier. In case you don't know it.
Thanks a lot.
Barbara.
There has to be order and unity in a relationship.
Who says we have a relationship?
After all these months together, I do. And I know what it is. But I also know, like a horse and the rider, one or the other has to be in charge.
You're comparing me to a horse again.
No, Barbara. Although in some eyes, horses are very beautiful, too. Though, in mine, nothing on earth could be as beautiful as you are. And because you are that beautiful, I'd like to feel I'm in total control of it. That it is in my power. All of you. It excites me to feel this way. You know this?
Hutton is crossing the country in her own private train, the Curly Hut. Having returned to America to divorce her prince, she's about to marry a count or a duke or something. And we're all getting excited and criticizing her as though she's a ward of the people. It's her money, it's her life. She must pay a tremendous lot of taxes to our government. She deserves some right. Her fortune was made from 5 and 10 cent purchases, so nobody got stuck very much. So, if she wants to pick up where the United States government left off and finance all Europe, it's her own business.
I told you I wasn't hungry. It would be a waste of time.
Barbara.
Don't lecture. I'm not hungry, period. Take it away, please.
Barbara, it's Alexis.
What, Tiki?
He has been killed in an automobile accident.
Oh, good. This is more than just a tennis match.
That's ridiculous. She's 3 months pregnant. She shouldn't be playing tennis.
Oh, do stop whinging, Jimmy. Barbara's happy, for God's sakes. And women no longer stay bundled up for the duration. Look at her go. Court hasn't got a chance.
Whinging?
Settle. You were very handsome on the court this afternoon. Everyone thought so.
Did they?
All the women were jealous. Some of the men, too, I think. Come here. This side.
I give the orders. Remember?
That was before we got married, darling.
That was then, now, and forever. Don't do that again, Barbara.
What?
Try to give orders in bed.
Orders? What are you talking about? We're not in bed. Court, that hurts.
Fair play, darling. You may win on the tennis court. In bed, I win. You're going to kill our child. You're starving him to death. You starve yourself to death. Barbara. 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 Tiki. Tiki.
Doctor, is it true she's on the danger list? How bad is it, Doctor?
Doctor, is it true you're going to perform an emergency operation here at our house?
Doctor, can you give us a statement, please?
Barbara. Barbara. Can you hear me?
Of course I can hear you. I'm not dead yet.
We will have a son, Barbara. But you've got to help him.
Help him? What's he done for me lately?
The Countess ruptured a blood vessel. We had to remove one of her ovaries. But you have a son, and the Countess is fine.
He's so beautiful. We're going to call him Lance.
At least he inherited your fortune and not your ears.
Beg your pardon. Oh, don't make me laugh. It hurts.
Damn well better. You scared us to death, Hutton. He's gonna be the handsomest nephew that an uncle ever had. Can I hold him?
No.
What?
I don't want you touching this boy ever. Is that understood?
Cord, what are you saying?
I don't want Jimmy or any of his friends ever to touch my son.
What are you, out of your mind?
Jimmy is not only one of my family, he's my favorite one. Lance is not your son, he's ours. And Jimmy can hold our son in our house anytime he wishes.
And my wishes, Barbara? Your cousins come before mine?
Well, I may be a queen, but at least I earned my title. God, do you believe that?
Jimmy, he's my husband. I have a son. Don't spoil it. Please.
Doesn't rub off, you know.
Barbara, this one came for you. Oh, my God.
What is it? Let me see.
Dear Countess, I have read of your having a charming little son. Now, don't get panicky. Please be sure to bring a big quantity of money in used banknotes. But the amount, Countess.
Inspector, you may not take this threat seriously. I do. What happened to Colonel Lindbergh's son is very fresh in my mind. Did you read the piece this morning in the mail? As Bruno Hauptmann awaits death for the kidnapping and murder of Colonel Lindbergh's son, wealthy people throughout the world are concerned that there will be a new wave of copycat kidnappings. Believe me, I take this very seriously.
What the inspector means, Barbara, is that the demand is ridiculously vague. The man can be deranged, irrational. Anyway, this is a man's responsibility, so leave it to us. And please, stop overreacting.
Stop treating me like a child. You know very well every time Sister Latimer takes Lance out for a walk, it's surrounded by photographers and reporters, people recording every moment. It's not safe here now. I want a place where they can't get at Lance.
Barbara.
I want a place found now.
Imagine 12.5 acres. The second largest private residence in London. Only Buckingham Palace is larger.
I'll name it Winfield House, after Granddaddy's. And I want work to start immediately on the security. Bulletproof windows, steel gates, alarms, guards. I want this place impregnable. Court, can I speak to you, please?
One moment.
Have you seen these?
Yes, I'm aware. We spent more than planned, but it's still within reason. And $250,000 went into the security system you asked for.
It's not the security system I'm talking about. That's for Lance's safety. We spent $4.5 million. You call that within reason?
Barbara, I love the way you, who spent $50,000 on your birthday party, start to talk almost like a sane, practical woman when suddenly it suits you to. Because compared to the madness of most of what you've done with your money, yes, what we spend on our house is within reason. See this? Behind this wall is good, solid brick. It's real. It will last, which is more than you can say for almost anything else you've done with your life so far. With your life. Or with your money. I'm the master. Stop criticizing. And let me finish the job the way I say it has to be done.
I love you. No matter what happens, I love you.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
My pleasure.
I find that
Wimbledon
fun as
attracts
well.
the best players
I
in the
think so
whole
too.
world. It has been a
Sure.
tremendous play. I
Godfrey.
enjoyed very much.
Of course.
Excuse
I'll
me.
see you.
See you later.
Godfrey, it's so good to see you again. Wimbledon weather. Well, may I present Baron von Krumm, the Countess Reventlow.
It's a pleasure and an honor to meet one of the greatest tennis players in the world.
And it's a pleasure and an honor to meet one of the most famous women in the world. Though her fame hardly lives up to her looks.
Whereas your looks more than live up to your fame, Baron.
The most graceful return I've received yet. On or off the court?
Are you here to play tennis, Gottfried, or to flirt with my wife?
If you say play tennis, Baron von Kram, I shall never forgive you.
Marge leads by 1 game to love, von Kram to serve. Love 15.
That was a great shot.
Oh, I thought it was a wonderful match. And von Kram was superb. Not a bad tennis player either.
I thought so.
You were about the only one cheering for him.
And that's why I cheered so loudly.
But you're an American. People will expect you to root for Budge, not for the German. It will be in the papers, you know.
What will?
Well, the fact that everybody cheered for Budge, except you.
I thought von Kram was a friend of yours.
Well, not as close as he would seem to be of yours, in the eyes of the world.
Cord, I believe you're jealous.
If you knew Gottfried as well as I do, you'd know I've little reason to be jealous. Even if the woman's as tolerant as you of, shall we say, certain eccentricities.
That was a little bitchy, wasn't it?
Very little, compared to how you've been today. Gottfried is a loser, you know. You will see. He's one of nature's losers.
Honest wages for honest workers. Honest wages for honest workers.
Whoop. Whoop. 2, 3. Oh, silly mummy.
Come in.
You rang, milady?
Yes, William. There was a cable that came for me yesterday. What happened to it?
Oh, yes, milady. I came looking for you with it here in the nursery, and Count Reventlow was here, milady.
And he took it?
Yes, milady.
Yes, well, thank you.
Thank you, milady.
En garde. Hier. Da. Und den, ja. Hey. Et là! Touché. En garde. Und den. Ja.
Cord.
Là. Das reicht für heute.
I told you never to interrupt me.
This cable was sent to me. Woolworth strikers in New York ask your intervention. They were asking for my help.
And wasting their time and yours.
That's for me to decide. Court. There was rioting. People were hurt. Workers lost their jobs. They were asking for my help.
And what are you supposed to do? Fly in on your magic carpet? Wave your magic wand? Franklin sold most of your shares in Woolworth anyway.
But they don't know that. They still blame me for their low wages, and now it's even worse. This was sent to me, Court. To me. You have no right.
As your husband, I have every right to
You're still living in the Dark Ages.
Maybe. But I think you should learn to appreciate the status you attained, thanks to your title.
Status?
You are the Countess Haugwitz Reventlow, because of me.
And because of me, you can afford your fencing lessons again.
Don't!
Barbara, baby. Oh, come on, Barbara.
You know, if I were you, I'd divorce him. They'd blame me. I have to prove to them I'm a good mother.
But you are.
Prove it and be one. Sometimes I'd wait for him. It seemed like all night.
For the Count?
For my father. You remember in the nursery? Remember, I'd wait for him to just come and... Lance is not gonna have to go through that. He's gonna have a mother and a father under the same roof. Whatever I have to do, whatever I have to take, a mother and a father under the same roof. Always. Renounce my citizenship.
Frankly, Countess, it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this your idea?
Barbara.
Mr. Turner, you are a British subject. Would you renounce that? Mr. Needham?
When you married me, you automatically became a citizen of Denmark.
In addition to my U.S. citizenship. I've heard enough.
Barbara, please. Mr. Needham.
I estimate that you would save $400,000 a year in taxes, Countess, by renouncing.
And lose my heritage.
The tax savings are incidental to the main issue, which is lands.
What about lands?
You presently pay $100,000 in English residency taxes and $300,000 in American income taxes.
Under the existing United States government inheritance tax regulations, your estate would be reduced by as much as 2/3 in the event of your death, leaving your son with a fraction of what you inherited.
Is that fair to Lance?
Once you renounce your American citizenship, you then begin to gradually transfer your funds from the United States to England.
Which saves the taxes.
And in the event of your death, your estate will be governed by the much more reasonable inheritance tax laws of Denmark. Barbara, if you don't act now, Lance will be lucky if he gets 1/3 of your estate.
I'm afraid.
Don't be worried. But, of course, it's up to you, darling.
If the Countess does as you suggest, her properties, as you say, will become subject to Danish law, and therefore under the control of her husband.
Nothing will be done without her consent, Mr. Mattison.
Indeed, sir, I have been retained by Mr. Franklin Hutton to make sure that nothing can or ever will be done without her consent. Or before you agree to sign certain safeguards, Count Rivenlow, should she agree to acquire your citizenship.
What safeguards?
An agreement limiting your sharing in the estate and expressly preventing you from participating in your son's inheritance. Understood?
I hereby absolutely and entirely renounce my United States citizenship and all rights and privileges thereunto pertaining, and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to the United States of America.
You have to sign it.
Babs made her fortune off the sweat of underpaid shop girls, and now she's robbed this country of $45 million and absconded with it to distant shores. In a way, it was none of the shop girls' business who Miss Babs married. But in a sort of way, it may be at that, because even shop girls have dreams of love on $10 a week. Now she's betrayed them for all time.
Catherine the Great tiara. Cartier acquired it a few months ago. I have been saving it for you, Countess.
Oh, it's magnificent.
You must have it, of course.
Oh, Jules, I can't. They're attacking me all over New York. With one stroke of the pen, I alienated an entire nation.
No matter what you do, they'll attack you. But you're in Paris now. Everyone loves you here. And those who don't know you, so why bother with them?
For you, Countess, Cartier is prepared to settle for just over $1 million. Oh, and of course, perhaps... And of course, you will want the tiara.
You've been a good girl, haven't you? Nobody seems to think so. But even if I had, would it matter? I'll take it. Yes. She's in the lobby now? Yes. Rosie. Hello, Barbara. I didn't know whether you'd see me or not. You're always welcome here. Come in. You look beautiful, Barbara. I've thought of you many times. Don't look at me like that. I'm sorry. I never did get over Alec's death. My tranquilizers. Saved my life. I can't tell you how many times. Seriously, darling, if you ever get the slightest twinge of a problem. No, I don't want one. Put them away. Why don't we have a sort of late lunch? Here's my baby. I'll warm his bottle. Thank you. Oh, he's a sleepy boy. May I? Yes. Oh, hello, darling. Aren't you a lovely boy? Oh, so beautiful. You're so lucky, Barbara. So lucky.
She's a damn morphine addict. Did you know that?
I don't care if she's a murderess. She's my friend.
Then you still let her hold our child.
She's a lonely, pathetic woman. She has no one else to hold on to. And I'll be damned if I'll keep her from holding on to my child if it'll help her.
She's never to come here again. She and the rest of your perverted friends are to keep away from my son. And that, as you know, includes sweet cousin Jimmy. And if you can't follow these orders, I'll take Lance away from you. Is that clear? Sleep well.
There's no way he can take Lance away from you. We'll put him in a crate and ship him back to Denmark. Hello, Godfrey.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Godfrey.
Sorry I'm late. I took a detour.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, they are following me, I believe.
I haven't been followed in years. It's all too depressing.
Who's following you?
Well, I don't know. The people of the German embassy, I think. Well, so much is going on. Have you read about my trouble with the Nazis?
Yes, I stood up and cheered.
Yes, well, the Nazis didn't. They hate me for that, what I said about their policies. And now they try and make up some excuse to put me away somewhere.
What will you do?
I'll go back to Berlin and face them. I still have powerful friends. It's not too late. Listen, I don't like this table. Can we move away from the window?
Gottfried, I think you're overreacting.
My friend, at these times, at least one has to be careful.
should tell me what it is.
It's a surprise.
You surprised me before. I don't know if I can take another one.
Something exciting for both of us. For once.
Stay here. You'll love this. I know you love perversity. You'll even have lunch with it.
Oh, yes, I know it. You were excited. I could see it. I know you, you know. No? Wouldn't you like it now if those three were here on the bed with us and we could watch while we...
I hated it!
Lying! You pretend to be so pure, so innocent, so wonderful, but in fact,
You go out of your way to be punished.
Surround yourself with perversity. To me, you always play the innocent. That's enough now. I told you I'd take Lance away from you, and now I will. As soon as I...
Count Revenlow?
Yes?
Inspector Mawson, Metropolitan Police. You're under arrest.
Arrest?
Yes.
On what charge?
Threatening grievous bodily harm.
Inspector.
And illegal possession of firearms.
Here are some scenes from the next episode of Poor Little Rich Girl.
Barbara, the FBI has been watching you. What? Barbara, you're no longer even an American citizen. They're claiming you're a Nazi sympathizer.
The Duchess was so disappointed. All she talked about was meeting Cary Grant.
Barbara, I'm Cary Grant every day on the set. For 18 hours a day.
I love you, baby.
Don't say that now. I needed to hear it then, not now.